I just want to finish with letting you know how we can actually define these components elsewhere. Because typically, when you define your own components, you write them in separate files. So the box here is in the same file as the app component, but by convention, it's best we separate them to be more organized. So all you have to do is create a file under source here. I'll call it box.js. Typically, I call the file name the same name as the function name or component name. And then what we're going to do is go back to app. I'm going to cut the code line 4 through 10 for the box function, and I'm going to paste it here. Now, within box.js, let's go to the top. Always we do report React from React, like that. Go back to app. It's going to complain box is not defined because it isn't, right? So we have to import it. So to use code from another file, you have to import it. So import space, the name you want. It could be any name. I like to always use the same name as the file or component name, in this case, box, space from, and then you got to use quotes and give the path to the file. Now, if you're referring to the current directory, that's dot slash, okay? Current directory is dot slash, and then box. Now you can say .js, that's fine. So usually people omit the extension .js and remove it like this, okay? But it's doing pretty much grabbing that file, okay? Now, it didn't work here. Why? Because whenever you have an app, sorry, a component in a file and you want it to be available elsewhere, you need to export that, okay? The way I import it here is using, it's importing for the default export, okay? So go back to box.js. Before the function, you're going to say export default separated by space. That way, this function is now available to whoever wants to import that from the outside. And you can see things are working like before. You can test it out, and it works the same way. All right, so that's just isolating every component in a separate file. That's a good practice instead of having everything in one single file.